A professor at the University of Tennessee celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The university fired her. She sued. And now Tennessee taxpayers are being asked to pay her $1.9 million to make it go away. Governor Bill Lee has the final say. Here's why he should say no and why this decision matters far beyond one professor. My name is Kelly Jackson with Truthwire News, and here's the scoop. Let's walk through exactly how we got here because the timeline matters. September 2025, Tamar Sherinian, an anthropology professor at UT Knoxville, posts online that the world is better off without Charlie Kirk following his assassination. The post goes public. UT places her on administrative leave within days. She spends the next several months fighting the university. In October, she files a federal lawsuit claiming her termination proceedings violate her First Amendment rights. In February of 2026, UT Chancellor Donde Plowman finalizes her firing anyway. Her case is headed to a jury trial scheduled for January of next year, 2027. Both sides are preparing to make their argument in front of a court. Then, 8 months after the lawsuit was filed on June 29th, just 2 days ago, everything changes. Instead of letting a jury decide, UT's Audit and Compliance Committee quietly approves a settlement. The next day, the full Board of Trustees signs off. No trial, no verdict, just a $1.9 million check. Funded by you. This isn't UT's money. It's not the board's money. It's yours, Tennessee taxpayers and the parents paying tuition to send their kids to this university. And here's what should bother you. The university is asking you to fund a payout for someone whose conduct got her fired in the first place. If UT genuinely believes this termination was justified, they should defend it in court, not settle at public expense because litigation is inconvenient. If they don't believe it was justified, that's just an entirely different and more troubling conversation about who approved this firing to begin with. And then there's something in this case that deserves far more attention than it's gotten. In her lawsuit, Sherinian alleged that a major donor threatened to pull a $10 million gift from the university if she wasn't fired. Think about what that means. If it's true, this wasn't a university applying a consistent code of conduct. This was a university making a personnel decision under financial pressure from a single wealthy donor, and now asking taxpayers to clean up the resulting legal mess. That's not accountability. That's an institution protecting its own finances at the public's expense twice over. Once by caving to donor pressure, and again by asking you to fund the settlement that followed. And let's be clear, this is not a one-off. Just months earlier, Austin Peay State University fired theater professor Darren Michael over his own Kirk-related post. Austin Peay didn't just pay him, they reinstated him to his job and handed him $500,000 taxpayer dollars on top of it. 2 Tennessee public universities, 2 professors disciplined for their political commentary, 2 payouts. This is becoming a pattern, and it's a pattern that tells every faculty member in this state exactly what happens when your politics collide with public outrage. You get a payday. And let's be honest about the world these incidents sit inside. Anyone paying attention to higher education over the last several decades knows a significant share of university faculty hold and often express a consistent set of political positions that skew sharply in one direction, and that plenty of parents and taxpayers, especially in Tennessee, do not share. To treat this as some isolated, disconnected event rather than a visible symptom of a broader campus culture is naive at best. Tennessee families are not paying tuition, and Tennessee taxpayers are not funding public universities So faculty can use the classrooms or the public square to advance their own politics, especially views that run counter to the values most Tennesseans hold. Now, I know what the other side will say. They'll say if Governor Lee blocks this and UT loses a trial, taxpayers could end up paying even more. Civil rights lawsuits like this one carry a provision that forces the state to pay her attorney's fees on top of any damages she wins. And that is a real risk. I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. But here's the question that matters. If UT's case is actually strong, if this firing really was lawful and justified, then the university should have the competence to make that case in front of a jury instead of quietly writing a check the moment things get uncomfortable. A settlement isn't proof of guilt, but it isn't proof of innocence either. And right now, taxpayers are being asked to eat the cost of that uncertainty without ever getting to see the case tested. Governor Lee has the statutory authority to block this. Tennessee law requires his written approval for any state settlement over $25,000. This one is $1 million of your money. He should use that authority. Send this case to trial. Let a jury, not a quiet committee vote in a non-public meeting, decide whether this firing was justified. And send a clear signal to every university in this state. Faculty are accountable for their conduct, not insulated from it by a taxpayer-funded safety net. Governor Lee, you have the power to say no. Tennessee is watching to see if you use it. My name is Kelly Jackson for Truthwire News, and this is my word for the day today. Like and subscribe to my channel here. Put comments down in the comments section as I love to engage. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.